drawing a leg, so a thigh and a bit of the calf, and we'll be using some tones to highlight it. So you could just set out using very thin lines, always thin lines. So right here we'll just put in the knee, and right here that's the calf and the shin area, and sorry, the calf area, and then of course the shin will be somewhere there. So we'll draw a fairly toned leg, not very toned, but just fairly toned, because that is the type of leg in which you bring out the features more effectively and study a bit of the muscle tone. So I'm just putting in right around the, well, not around because I brought this down in each. I had intended to put the knee here, but then I changed my mind and I brought it down here. So the calf also comes down and just toned enough. So that is the framework, let's say the outlines for the leg. And now we are going to put in some tones to bring in the different muscle groups. So if you have your pencil, if it's sharp, it's fine, but if it's not too sharp, it will actually be more helpful, because we need a blunt tip sort of for this exercise. I think that's my take on this. I know that there are many instructors. Well, I'm not an art instructor, I'm an enthusiast, but there are instructors who are all for doing fine line cross hatching even with pencil, but I think that this works better with a more like softer tip, so that you don't have to work as much to bring out that effect of the crosshatch and the tones that you intend to put in. So there's the bulge. So the leg is a cylindrical shape, and right, let's say the light source is here. So that's what I intended to mention right from the outset. So right around the bulge, the rule of thumb is that there's the immediate shadow cast right around the bulge, right around here, because this is resting down on the shin. Resting as in that the person might be putting more weight, and it's actually better that way, because you could explore this little bend in skin, this little setting of the muscle group here right around the knee area. It actually helps. And again, this is something that instructors don't necessarily recommend when it comes to core anatomy, but I've just put an even shade, and I've darkened this again a little bit, just put a little tone here, and I'm going to stop there for now, and we'll concentrate now on the knee here. So the knee area, again, you can actually Google some images, because it'll give you an idea of how there's knees are also reflecting differently. There are some knees which are much sharper with skin fairly tight around them, but then there are many knees which are just like toned enough, like right here, it's just toned enough, and we're just putting in all those striations right around it and a bit under it. And I'm trying to join them as much as possible. So going down into the calf, little bulge right there, and of course the shin bone with a leg like this, so I'll have to define the shin bone a little bit. So I'm putting in a tone right there, coming down, making that sharper because that is the cylindrical bend. Putting a little tone right there in this particular muscle group, and then making the rear of the muscle head darker. Little tone here, darker, and the rear put in darker again. So it doesn't have to be like this even. So we're just like putting in an exercise and trying to have certain things like work for us, and because usually you'll be working along those lines when it comes to putting together the anatomy of a leg. Some say that it's not as complex to put together the anatomy of the leg as an arm, but some have their reservations, and that really begins when the leg is a more toned leg or a more fit, more bulked up leg. You should check out bodybuilding images and you'll know what I mean. So right here, I'm just going to even this out a little bit just to show you that it blends in nice and gives you that somewhat of an effect of a leg on its own. And the tones have to go all the way back because you might, reflect a light at the back here, but you have to make sure that the tones are just dark enough, not too light, going to the back of the leg. So I darkened that bit, and I'm going to leave it at that. So there we have it, the leg with the light source from here, with the just enough muscle tone to put in these fills and these shadows. So please do try it out. Fun exercise and very essential exercise in sketching anatomy. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.